Hear Me See Me podcast is sponsored by Zenoti, the #1 cloud software for salons and spas. Because when people feel good, they find their greatness. I am Stuart Roberts, and I'm really excited to introduce my new podcast, Hear Me See Me. It's just over 5 years ago. I did something that changed my life. What it did, more than I could have ever realised, it helped me. I have met some absolutely amazing people. Some of the people that work in some of these places, many of them are volunteers, but some of them it is their job. I'd had this idea after being inspired by a guy in America I'd seen cutting hair on the streets and seeing the difference it made to the guys who were there. This is more than a job, this is a calling. Hello, this is Stuart, Hear Me See Me podcast, and today I've got a wonderful lady with me. I've got the British Hairdresser of the Year, the legend that is Sally Brooks. How are you?
Hi everyone, are you alright?
Yeah, good, how are you?
That's a nice intro to live up to.
Yeah, I'm good at intros. I've watched so much boxing in my life that I do a bit of a boxing intro. How are things going with you?
Yeah, not bad actually. It's all right. At least we've got a date to open now. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Hasn't that given everyone a lift, that date?
Yeah, I think it's given people a lift, and I think it's given people a wake up call. I would think half the population is looking at what they're going to wear.
Also,
they're either going to be thin or fat.
Yeah.
You look at your wardrobe and you go, "What did I used to wear for work? I have no idea what I used to wear for work." Yeah.
I think
we'll all be going back in hoodies, won't we? We'll all be going back in jogging pants and hoodies. Yeah.
I've got mine here to keep my legs warm.
I see. Yeah.
I think as well there'll be some of us who I've really tried to keep busy, but at the same time thinking, I've really got to get cracking now.
Yeah.
Some people who haven't been so busy are maybe thinking, wow, I've got to get going now.
But I think that's going to really be interesting, because I mean, in a way, I'm thankful that we had a bit of notice. I know it's a long way, but I'm thankful we had a bit of notice because, I think some people haven't done anything, and that's a mental thing of being able to do what we do for a living. Yeah, is a mental state. It's like you've got to be motivated, and you've got to be upbeat, and you've got to be bubbly. I mean, it's our job, and if we've all sat watching Netflix for the last 3 months, that's going to be really hard to come out of that mindset into a different one. Yeah,
I think, and also it's that thing of you going straight into Christmas week, aren't you? You're going
you're going straight into Christmas month, yeah.
Christmas month,
and we're not used to getting up at a certain time. We're not used to being on a routine. I think I don't know. I would say most people work better when they're on a routine. Yeah, and I think people are looking forward to going back onto a routine. It makes us all tick better somehow.
Yeah, I think it does.
But I've been working about 3-4 days a week, like going into the salon, and so I actually feel like I could do with a little bit of a break, to be perfectly honest, before I go back to work. I feel like I'm just going to turn all my phones off, everything off, and just have actually a week off.
I think you should. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think everybody should do it the week before. Just everyone turn your phones off, have a week off, and then get ready to come back. But can you please come in and help me clean the salon and set it up on that week as well? So, yeah, because there's all that to do as well.
Can you email my sister that I can have a week off before we start? Because
it'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've got all day tomorrow on we do online office work, and because there's so much behind the scenes with their customers that people don't imagine. So she's always got a list. My sister's known for a list.
Oh, she's a list person, is she?
And it's like
I did that when I went to work yesterday. We were running the education yesterday, so I was in the salon. I've been in the salon for the last 2 days, all day. So I left my boyfriend a list: Hoover, wash car, just a polite list. Do you know what I mean?
That's very what they call that, passive aggressive.
Yeah, annoying is the word he'd call it. Annoying. Yeah, annoying.
Are you annoying, Sally?
Yeah, no, that's when the chin comes out. It's what the staff always say to me. They know when I'm annoyed because I always go, and the staff go like this. They go, wind the chin back in. You can tell. Unfortunately, I've got one of them faces that you can tell exactly what I'm thinking. and it's dangerous sometimes. But I only have to do that across the salon. I'm like, and everyone knows you've really pissed me off. Yeah.
I've got veins, evidently, that when I
come out.
Use it, these veins come out here and my lips go white.
Nice.
Before I'm really going to go, you know.
God, so we all know that. That's a bit scary, actually. Veins and white lips, I'd run.
It can be, like, I'm much better now. I've worked over the years, and I don't lose my temper anymore, and I don't do anything I shouldn't. But I have been known in the past, and my sister used to go, like, she'd be sitting on the reception desk, and she would like, he's going to go. He's going to go. Stuart?
You're probably like me, though. It's like I don't lose my temper that often, but it boils. Like, it'd be better if I lost my temper more. Does that make sense? Because by the time I get to lose it, I've lost it. I've completely lost it. And it's all the little things, and then I just lose it.
I think mine's been, over the years, I've learned that mine was that I wouldn't be assertive enough.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't address something until it got, and then it would just come.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me, and that's what I try and work on. I mean, I got to a point once the staff room was so messy all the time, and I'd be like, can you wash your plates up? Can you clean up? Can you wash your plate? And I just lost it. I just picked up this massive bin and I just tipped it over the whole staff.
Yeah.
They just got the lot. I was like, there you go. So it's much tidier now and it's much cleaner now. But, you know, it would have been easier if I would address things as they come, as opposed to I just get to the point where I just lose it.
Well, every day's a learning day, isn't it? That's
Yeah, how old do you need to get to when you stop learning, though? I haven't worked that one out. When you grow up, I'm like, what age is that? Yeah.
In July, I'm 59, and I'm still, you know, I'm thinking I'll have to live till I'm about 150 if I'm going
to fit everything in.
Just to grow up.
Just to grow up.
Get adult.
I don't think you do grow up. Yeah. I told somebody the other day I was 53, and then I got home and I was like, no, I'm 51. Why did I tell everyone that this person was 50? I don't know. I was like, they're like, how old are you? And I was like, 53. And I got home and I was like, no, I don't think I'm 53. I have to phone my mum. Mum, am I 53? She's like, no, you're 51. I was like, oh, okay. Doesn't really matter, does it?
We're from the same decade then.
Yeah.
Both born in the 60s.
60s, yeah.
So we grew up through the 70s.
Yeah. But then our main growing up is 80s, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's our, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, well, because I was 62, the 70s was like my early teenage years, I think. And then, started going out in the world about when in the 80s, the early 80s.
Yeah. It's like when music comes on, isn't it? 80s to me is my decade of music. And I always go, this is funny, I always go to the staff, our generation dance with our arms up.
Yeah.
And this generation dance with their arms down.
Yeah.
And we're like, woohoo! Do you mean it's such a different generation of dance moves. But 80s, I'm like all over. And then 90s, I don't know what I did. I just don't know any 90s music. I think it's probably when I was working hard at my career. I think I just missed it somehow. I just missed it.
I missed it for different reasons. That's why I'm 15 years sober now. If you met me between 90 and 95, I wouldn't have a clue who you are.
Who you are? No.
I lost that. Funny enough, though, I opened my salon in 88.
Yeah.
So I started work at 78, in 78.
I started work at 78.
Yeah. It felt like it. I was 15 years and 10 months I started work. And it's 1978, and then, 10 years, and then I sold my house. I was married and divorced by then.
Yeah.
And sold my house and bought a salon. I bought an empty unit, and me and my dad converted it to a salon. And then, it's such a long time ago,
Yeah.
Like, my God, where is that? So I was, that was in 88.
Yeah, 88, yeah. That was a brilliant time to be around doing it, though. It was brilliant.
Oh, it was such a different era. And even I love the fact that I was a hairdresser in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Training. Because I was at the cusp of shampoo and sets and blow drying.
Yeah.
So I had the foundation of shampoo and set and hair up and then, but just on also the thing of the cutting was,
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I had a great teacher who was a brilliant precision cutter, but also I had the influence of the hairdressing, And we used to do the colour trophy then, and it was so like ornate and colourful, and it wasn't like commercial, as it is.
It was big, yeah.
Yeah, it was really big, and at the Royal Albert Hall on the floor, you know.
Amazing.
It was,
see, there was really big shows then as well. There was really big events. Like it was, you know, I'm really thankful that I was around in the big events. Do you know what I mean? All the big things. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean that I remember the colour trophy. That, you know, the Royal Albert Hall on the floor. It was such a big event, you know. And I think I come one place in front of my boss, so I was really chuffed.
Oh, brilliant. Did you love that? Did you wind it up? Did you stir it in all the time? Yeah, for years.
Such an arrogant little twat.
Well, yeah.
I look back and I cringe. Like,
yeah.
You know.
But that's good, though, because that's what you learn, that that's not the person you want to be eventually. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to stay who you are.
No, you don't.
Life's taught me that, you know. There's always room for growth, and you know. And as well, life throws things at you, and what they say, you either win or I learn. So you don't necessarily have to lose, do you?
No.
That everything's a growing thing. So, Sally Brooks, take me back to the young Sally Brooks, the little girl. Where was she going in life, and where did she end up here?
God, so bloody long ago, isn't it? Hang on, my dogs are about to come in. Hang on, let's just get over this palaver thing for 2 minutes, and then they'll calm down.
You've got one in front of the camera and one behind, haven't you? You normally...
Yeah, one is not interested, and one's... Yeah, hang on, is he going to take them in here? No. Oh, no, they're gone. Sorry, they're gone in the kitchen. So, young Sally Brooks. I would say the word that springs to mind growing up is stubborn. When I was at school, you know when people can remember their school teachers' names? I can't remember any. But I completely have no idea of any school teachers. To me, school was, it was a little bit irrelevant. Can't say I was bad, can't say I was good, just couldn't wait to leave. Didn't see the point of it. Knew that most of the things I was learning weren't going to benefit what I was going to do. I always say that if there was an A star in common sense... Oh, dogs, hang on.
Sally, to get her dogs.
Quickly, come and say hello quickly so we can get on with this. Come and say hello. Quick.
Hello.
Oh, here's the other one. Come on, quick. Sorry, this will just take 2 minutes.
That's fine.
Quick, come here. Quick, come and say hello as well. Oh, here we go. No, you put muddy print paws all over me. That's lovely. Right, are we good?
Yeah.
There we go. And we said hello. Right, James.
Boy or a girl?
Both girls.
Both girls.
James, what are you doing? Look. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm right in the middle of a live.
Well, you opened the door.
I know, but they were scratching. Come, go, quick. Go. Go.
I'm opening the door.
Go. Right, that'll do. Oh, they have to do that. Okay, so, school. School.
Irrelevant.
Didn't really see the point of it.
Yeah.
Didn't understand why they were teaching me physics and biology. Yeah. I didn't really go to a very artistic school. I don't actually think in our generation. Do you think there wasn't as much choice?
No.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you know, when I left school and they pull you in the office and they talk to you about your potential career choice. I mean, I was told I was going to be a secretary, or if I worked really hard, a dental assistant.
Oh.
I mean, I was like, oh, amazing. I was like, my stubborn me goes, it's okay, I don't need your help. I'll just find something that I want to do myself. But now I think there's so much choice that I think that would be as confusing. Whereas too much choice. Whereas with me, it was like trying to find something that I really enjoyed doing and see where that would take me on my career. And I think that's really good advice to any youngster. Go into something that you like doing and the opportunities will open into something else. Yeah. Never wanted to be a hairdresser. No. I'm from a small village. That was just not in the equation for me at all. I could think of nothing worse than standing in a salon cutting somebody's hair. There's no way. So I was, cut it short, I wanted to go to this theatrical makeup school. I wanted to be a theatrical makeup artist. That was my plan. But it was a really expensive course and we just didn't have the money to pay for it. So stubborn me got a job in a florist, which I adored. I think it's a really similar job, actually. I think hairdressing and floristry is a similar emotion and a similar job. So went to work in this florist. I was earning £33.50 a week. So for me to be able to save up to go to this expensive college was going to take quite a long time. And my door's going now. Can I just go and answer the door?
Yeah, sure. Sally's gone to answer the door. She's chaotic, but lovely.
This is the thing with doing things at home, isn't it? Oh my God, sorry, right. That should be good now. I think that's the frames for my artwork, actually. That's quite exciting. So anyway, I wanted to go to this college. Started work as a makeup artist. Started work as a florist. Worked for a year and a half in a florist, earning £33 a week. I adored that job. I would never have made any money. No. Every time the kids came to get flowers on Mother's Day, I'd be like, oh, you don't have to pay me. It's okay. You can have that one. Take a bigger bunch for your mum. My boss was always like, you would never make any money in this. Anyway, needed to get a job that paid more money. At this time, I was working 4 nights a week washing up in a restaurant because there was no dishwashers at that time. So I was the dishwasher. So I was washing up in a restaurant and I was working on Sundays in a local shop, just helping in the local shop. So saw a job advertised for a garden centre. Needed a horticulture degree. Bearing in mind I'm 17. Needed a horticulture degree. Put my mum's suit on, put loads of makeup on, just passed my driving test, drove to the interview, told them I had got a horticulture degree and I'd got loads of experience. Cut a long story short, they gave me the job. I worked there for a year and a half. I managed at this garden centre. I had staff and I had a cafeteria and I pretended for a year and a half that I knew what I was doing. Every plant was don't overwater it and don't put it in direct sunlight. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Anyway, cut a long story short, at the end of it, I'd saved enough money for half of this college course. My parents gave me the other half. Now, when I left this garden centre, they bought me some suitcases. And they did this speech and they said, we just wanted to thank Sally for her hard work and wish her the best in the future. And just to let her know that we've known her parents for many, many years and we've known her since she was born. So in other words, I spent a year and a half pretending I was 23 with a horticulture degree when this couple actually knew I was 17, 18. I think that's actually incredible. Anyway, I then went to Nottingham and I did this makeup course, theatrical makeup. I could make you a great beard and a moustache and I could cast your head into a horror movie. I could do all of that.
Right.
Now, because I'm from a small village, I've got parents that didn't really understand theatrical makeup artist. And they always think that makeup artists and things like that is a hobby. It was always it wasn't a job, it was a hobby. So I really had to prove them wrong when I left. So I left with the most hideous portfolio of when I look back on it going, oh my God, it was just horrific. A friend of mine at the time was working in London. I just needed to get myself to London. Anyway, I just needed any job at all to get to London. Job came up as an apprentice hairdresser in a company called Trevor Sorbie's.
Yeah, like you do.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Hadn't got a clue. I was 20 at this time. So I went for the interview. Trevor asked me how long I'd been hairdressing because you had to qualify at the age of 21.
Right.
The apprenticeship is 3 years long.
Yeah.
I was 20. So I quickly did the maths and I told him I'd been hairdressing for 2 years. I'd never picked a pair of scissors up. I'm one of them people, you'll learn this as we go on. I'm one of them people, I say yes, and then I work it out later.
Yeah.
I always go, yep, I can do that. And then I go, right, how do I work this out?
Yeah, I relate to that.
Do you know, are you? There's very rarely the word no, because I'm like, no is a full stop, whereas yes is I still got a little bit of time to work this out. All right, so told him I've been hairdressing for 2 years, gave me the trial apprenticeship job. After the first week, they asked me to cut a bob. I've been watching all week. I was like, can't be that hard. Stick the head down, cut a straight line all the way around in one section. I picked the scissors. I think I was holding them with these fingers at the time. I was like, I haven't got a clue. Cut this thing. Anyway, yeah, like this. So the girl, I'll never forget this poor model that I had. So it was meant to be like this. So obviously I cut it all down. So she sits up and it's like that.
Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy. It was quite nice. She looked quite nice, but it was not what I was meant to cut. Anyway, I was like, got called in the office, and Trevor said to me, or the manager said to me, either one, how long have you actually been hairdressing? And I was like, a week. And they said to me, as much as we like you, unfortunately we have to ask you to leave because it's a 3-year training and you have to be qualified by 21, so unfortunately you can't stay.
Yeah.
And I never forget turning round and going to walk out the office and turning back and just asking one question. And I always teach everybody this, just ask the question. It's only a question. The worst somebody can say to you is no. And I said, is it 3 years worth of time or 3 years worth of exams? And Trevor said, I don't understand the question. I said, it's really simple. Is it 3 years worth of time or do I have to pass every exam? And he's like, you have to pass every exam. I said, in that case, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
You get so much. I thought I was cocky.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's cocky. It's just, I loved it. As soon as I walked into that salon,
yeah,
the people were not people I'd met before.
Yeah.
I was so like a fish out of water. I was this tiny little country girl with blonde cap highlights.
Right.
And I walked into a time at Trevor's where it was the most creative group of people working there. It was insane. I did not fit into this world at all. At all. I stood out like a sore thumb for just being this country bumpkin, but I loved the energy. It was something I'd never come across in my life before. So even if I never stayed there and qualified, I wanted to find out more about it. So that's how I started hairdressing. And the more, I think it really helped me that I didn't know who Trevor was. And I didn't understand hairdressing. I didn't understand there was famous hairdressers, or I didn't actually know anything about hairdressing. So at that time, we were in the smaller salon at Trevor's, and he used to have his office basically where I used to wash up. So I used to be in the galley, we used to call it, washing up all the time. And I just used to listen all the time to his meetings, everything that he was talking about, and the PR companies. I've never heard of one of them, and him starting to design shows and how he talked to his choreographer and, talking to a makeup artist. And I was like, this is a different world for me. And I don't know which part of it I want, but I want to find out if there's more to it. And I just fell in love with it the more I was surrounded by it.
Yeah.
I think that's something we don't shout about enough in hairdressing, is the different opportunities that hairdressing has.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Stuart, I think we shout about the posh part of the industry too much, the famous part. Actually, there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more to the industry that we don't promote. We go, you can stand on stage and you can travel the world. 90% of hairdressers don't want to do that.
No. Or get the opportunity.
Or get the opportunity. And it's something, as an industry, I feel like we need to figure out, because somebody like me would never have come into hairdressing. No. Do you know what I mean? And how many amazing people are there out there that we can attract into different parts of what we do as an industry?
Yeah, I was lucky enough yesterday. I done a talk to a college in Milton Keynes via thing, and I was trying to get it. It's on the fresh off the back of my mind of what we did with the Hair to Love campaign was to sort of remind them of they could excel in any aspects of it that they did. You know, if you're gonna be a freelance hairdresser, like be a great one. Yeah,
I would say be a great one.
Yes, salon stylist, be a great one. The thing of whatever. There's so many different aspects of the industry you can go into, but be passionate about your part of it.
Yeah, and also it's like the part of your training is like just do it well, don't rush it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a girl that used to work for me a long time ago. She was actually an apprentice with me at Trevor Sorbie's. And then she came to work for me for 6 months because she needed a fill-in job, basically. This is a long time ago when I first opened the salon. She needed a 6-month fill-in job because she was training to move into TV hair and film hair. and she's just won a BAFTA. And I'm so proud of her for doing her hairdressing training, becoming a good hairdresser, but then finding something within the industry that she's just excelled at. I think it's incredible where people can go with it. I really do.
I think as a salon owner as well, you when you're the boss, people often think that you're in it for yourself. You know, like that's what you're the boss. You know, like, but there's nothing better.
Yeah, I'm going to say for me, it's the opposite to that.
Big pay packet, you know, like to give someone, you know, like it's not anymore because I'm saying pay packets. Everyone, it's not.
I used to love a pay packet. Yeah,
but you give someone a big fat pay packet, like and you're really
happy.
Yeah.
I still do that now. If I look at some of their wages when it comes in, and I'm like, oh my God, so hit their target, I get really excited. Yeah. So I do think people misjudge that. It's why people open salons. I love nothing more than seeing people grow. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So anyway, that's my journey into hairdressing. And then, you know, the other battle I had, just so you know, is once you arrive at somewhere like Trevor's, how the hell you get noticed in that place? Yeah. Because the talent that was in there was just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? So I just put my head down and worked really hard, really hard. I hated being a junior. I hated sweeping the floor. I hated all of that. I just wanted to just get on with it. And when I took my final test, which I did my training in 14 months in the end. It took me 14 months from start to finish. And I did my final test. And I can't say my final test was the best final test Trevor has ever seen. But like he said, for God's sake, just throw her on the floor and she's going to either sink or swim. Yeah. And I think that was really good advice. Do you know what I mean? There's no point keeping me training anymore. I just needed to make some mistakes and get on with it and see what happened, really. Yeah. But there was, honestly, that time particularly, I loved some of the people that worked there. They were bonkers. I was so scared of them. They were so bonkers. I loved it. It's funny because you said that you fell in love with it the minute you went into that environment. It was the fact that, as you said, you weren't cocky. You just didn't want to. You didn't want it to be taken away from you. And I was the same. I came from a sort of working class background. My dad was, worked in a clay plant, and I was rough. I was a rough kid, And I went in this place, and it blew my mind because it was so different. And it was like flamboyant, and it was so creative, and and it was so. But also so disciplined, don't you think? Like you had to be really disciplined. Yeah, and I think that's a really healthy thing to do when you're young. I think it could do with more of that. I don't want to be the old guy who says it in our day, but I think it could do with more of that because I hated it, but it helped me. I'm really thankful for it. So grateful for it. Yeah, I'm so grateful for it. I worked for a company it was a local Essex salon, and it was, they had a couple of salons, and it was Lorenz Doré, and it was Michael Doré and Edgar Lorenz. And like Edgar was he was I really, really admired him. He was like in the RAF, and he'd had such a life, and he was strict, He was like, he sort of took a breath in when he walked in the plane. And I'll never forget, I'd been partying on a Friday night, and I was on reception on a Saturday morning, and I just, when you just lean back against the wall a little bit, and I must have just closed my eyes for a second, and that's when he walked in. Brilliant. And he just looked, yeah. I'm laughing because it's like if my junior and my assistants lean on the walls, this is my sentence. I always go, walls are for holding buildings up, not for holding people up. That's what I always goes. Walls are for holding buildings up, not for holding people up. Yeah. It was the dread, and funny enough, I was actually aware of Trevor at quite a very young age of the career because the other partner was Michael Doré, and I'm sure he'd done a tour of Canada, if I remember rightly, with Trevor, stage tour. Yeah. Which in them days you would go to Canada and do a tour of
big stage.
100%. See, that's what I did with him all the time. Yeah, big stages, big productions. Amazing.
And but I can imagine that it's to be a small fish in a big pond like that. It's hard to, as you say, but it's work. That's the thing. You know, like you said, it's that work ethic. And sometimes you do have to roll your sleeves up, and you have to. And you see the ones who put the work in. There's flair, and then there's hard graft.
Yeah, and it's something. You know, I always say I think hard work beats natural talent. Yeah. Every time. It does. If you've got to work a bit harder, you eventually go over the natural talent, because the natural talent haven't had to work as hard. Do you know what I mean? And I think hard work really, really, really pays off. But it doesn't mean hard work working silly. It means hard work working clever. Does that make sense? I mean, I was always first person in, last person out. Always made sure the salon was clean. Always. Like I always say, when I was an apprentice, is a good apprentice does something to make that person's job easier. Yeah. They don't do something to make that person's job harder. And that's something I tried really hard to do. I was Trevor's personal assistant for most of my apprenticeship, and basically the whole time I worked there, I went on every single job with him. You know, I knew every single thing he was going to do before he knew he was going to do it. Do you know what I mean? But that's how I learned. Do you know what I mean? I learned so much from doing that. I mean, when I get, you know, even when I was artistic director, I was still assisting Trevor on stage. And there was a few people said to me, "Don't you find that offensive, assisting Trevor on stage?" And I'm like, not. I don't even understand the question. No. Of course I don't. Do you know what I mean? But my job was always to make Trevor's job easier. Do you know what I mean? And then you pass that down to the people below you, and then I used to train everybody below me, and that's how a good salon operates, really. Yeah, and it's I mean, it wasn't always easy working there. It wasn't always easy. No. You know, I think people think sometimes I've had a really easy run of it. Do you know what I mean? And it was all fell into place. It's like, God, I've had some big knockbacks and some big learnings. Do you know what I mean? And some big mistakes, and you know, it's been a learning curve. I think that's the important thing to get through to people as well, is that we want to inspire the young people for the industry, but we do want to establish the fact that it isn't straightforward. You know, there's ups and downs, there's peaks and troughs, and this is why the passion's so important. Yes. You need the passion to drive you through those times, don't you? Yes, and I do think that's also helped a lot of people out in times that have been more difficult, is that we all have this common passion that our jobs can get us through difficult things. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, I don't know about you doing your training and coming up through the ranks, how many times you cried. God, I cried so many times. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When somebody said something to me, and you used to take things really personally, and you used to, you know, take things, but you just roll your sleeves up, you go back in the next day, and you never do it again. No. And you learn from it. But, you know, we're really lucky that our lifestyle and our passion for what we do gets us through to the other side of it. I think, I mean, I was probably going to leave about every 3 months. Yeah, I think 100%. 100%. And I think money was quite a bit at the beginning, because I think I was earning I think my first wages was £12.50 a week. And I know it's relative, but it was still very... It's then when your friends start to say that they're earning £100 a week, and and you're thinking, oh, well, I do more hours than them, and that's the sort of they're the things that they're the diversions that sway from your goal. Mm-hmm. Why you need to have that. Yeah, but maybe that just needs us as an industry to talk to people honestly about that. Do you know what I mean? It's if you're in hairdressing for money, I think you're in the wrong job. Yeah, I do. I think you're in the wrong job. And something I've always said to everybody, you know, that's asked me is, don't ever chase money. Money will come when it's meant to come. But if you chase it, you're actually never going to earn it. You're never going to get to that point. You know, if you're fitting an extra client in because you're going to get more money, it's not the same as fitting that client in because she needs you to help her. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Do you mean it's a whole different thing? So don't ever chase money. No, I think that's where longevity comes in. Yeah. Short-term success comes from chasing money.
but long term.
Yeah, but then if you have that mental approach to, you want paid more and more and more and more, there's going to come a limit that hairdressing doesn't pay more and more and more and more. There's probably 2% of the industry that earn exceptionally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're getting paid that much at a very young age, you haven't really got that much to get to.
Yeah.
It's like you constantly want to climb. Do you know what I mean? And what is it that you're climbing for? It's like we always say, isn't it? What is success? And success is so many things to so many people. Like, it's a whole different thing. But success is definitely respect and pride for me, pride in what I do. And the money will come with it. But if it's money, what you won't end up with is respect and success.
Exactly. And I think, but everything in life comes back down to balance.
Yes. So
you can have, you can have the most wonderful, fulfilling job, but if you're not getting any money,
yes,
you can't feed your kids. So so you can be a saint in one hand, but
it is bad.
You can. I've known people who've earned vast amounts of money, been so unhappy with their life, unfulfilled. It's all about balance. So it's getting a fair reward for what you do, also having the passion for what you do. I remember, it's unlikely, but it was Chris Evans who used to do the radio show guy. When he done, it was the time he was really successful with Don't Forget Your Toothbrush.
Yeah.
Program, and he was saying, I remember him saying that never chase money, just what you do, and the money will come as you just. Yeah. And I think him and a guy had an idea for the toothbrush in a pub and wrote it on a beer mat, and he said, if we do it, we'll go halves. And the guy never needed a contract, because when that did come and the money did come in, he gave him half of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where your integrity and that's where your success will come,
Yes. That's really hard to explain to youngsters, but yes, it is. Yeah.
It's harder, I think, because the values have changed. I'm not disrespecting them. It's just that things are different. Yeah. They're not worse, they're not better, they're different now. Yeah. They've got a different mindset. There's a lot of instant gratification nowadays. So, the work ethic doesn't come into that, because if you've got influencers earning £1,000 a post, if they're looking to a Kardashian who's got a young person who's got £1 billion company, it's very hard for them to have their feet on the ground with what's achievable. And I'm all for shooting for the moon, but it's taking those steps and having realistic goals, and as well as the unachievable. But and it's that balance of that again, isn't it? It's that into them. Yeah, I'm glad I came through the ranks when I did. I am really glad. There wasn't an answer to that, because there isn't an answer, is there? It's what motivates the young people now. It's finding that key, and I think what you said is the passion and the recognition. And I do. You can see it when you've had a team for a long time, and you can see, there's a frustration part in the middle of what they do, and then all of a sudden you can see it all start fit together, and that's to do with their confidence. Yeah, I mean, it's like we're running this education program at the moment, and when I watch Marlon and Grace do it, I'm like the proud mum. Do you know what I mean? It's. I have to be really careful. I don't go behind them. Do you know what I mean? Because watching them for the last 6 and 7 years get better, and now watching them totally get it. The humbleness, the confidence, the willing to educate, how they educate is. I couldn't have done that with them last year. Yeah. But this year, I'm like, you're so ready. Do you know what I mean? And, we were laughing yesterday because Marlon was, we were educating yesterday, and I was sitting in the back. They run it, I just hang out, basically. And Marlon was doing this dressing hair on a dolly head. And I said, do you want me to come and assist you? And you could see him kind of go, yes, please. And I thought,
do you know, that's a big deal, isn't it? For me to come and pass pins up to Marlon and him not go, oh my God, is she going to look at what I'm doing? But it was so lovely that he was just like, yeah, no problem. Like, he just had no fear of...
Yeah.
I love that. I love seeing people get to that level when they know what they're doing and they don't have to shout loud.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a wonderful thing to see. It's like, it's not about how loud you shout, it's about what you do with your hands. And I'm like, oh my God, when you can understand how to control your hands, I find it so passionate to be around people like that.
It's funny you say that as you're waving your hands around.
I know, I always talk with my hands, it's terrible. Yeah.
It's really good to control your hands.
I know, control what you're doing, but it's so lovely to see. And you can see that in the industry when somebody suddenly gets good and you go, but now you're a force to be reckoned with. Do you know what I mean? Now when you speak, I get it. And when I watch your work, I get it. And you've just grown. It's like, it's lovely.
It's that quiet authority.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I find people like that really inspiring to be around.
Yeah, I think as well, you've hit on it there, that education is key.
Yeah.
Education really is key. And I think it's very easy for... let's say, I mean, you know, there's 30 to 40,000 salons in the country. You know, there are the sort of top small percentage that are flying, you know, but the bulk of salons are everyday, you know, 5 to 7 stylists salons, you know, like, and it's very easy to get caught up in the break-even mentality. Yeah. You know, like the priorities go. So your biggest priority is to pay the rent, is to pay it back, is to pay the suppliers, and you sort of lose focus on, you know, setting aside time, education, setting aside money and budget for education. It's easier said than done when you're up against it, you know. But it's so crucial. You know.
Yeah, because that's what makes your team stronger. Is if your team are educated well, and also that makes them more motivated, that they can see that they're going to grow. But then, you know, thinking about what you said, and it's something I always think is, why is it that the salon owner is the one that has to ask them if they want to do education? Nobody ever asked me to do it, or you probably. It's like, you know, why is it that you ask your boss to invest in your education? Do you see what I mean? I'm like, why wouldn't you invest in your education yourself? If you have a weakness in one area of your work, why wouldn't you fix it?
I totally agree. I think the biggest thing, I did a lot of work with Austin Smith for a while. He taught me a lot about, you know, build your column. These things. And what the main thing about it was, say like a salon stylist is treat your column as your business. And the thing is when you take, if you take that away from the fact that you're being employed and your commission and but then it's like your responsibility as well, and then anything for nothing is never valued. You know, the times, you know, you send someone on a 2-day course and they don't go on the second day, their dog's not well, you know. Like, if they pay for half that course, if they have a financial... It's got value. Yeah, and I think that's the crucial thing of maybe a partnership idea, is that we'll pay half, but you've got to pay half. Or your parents got to pay half. But
anything that doesn't involve money doesn't have value. Do you know what I mean? It's you know, it definitely has value. I mean, I'm laughing when you just said that, because I remember doing this years ago now. We were running education downstairs and I was teaching one day and we'd got these students in, and there was these 2 kids that were late for the course, and then they sat at the back of the course and they had their feet up on the desk, like on my chair like that, and I was cutting away and I was like, so you put it at 90 degrees, you know, you cut the graduation like this, and I just went, and the 2 girls at the back of the room, can you get your feet off my fucking seats? It's so rude, and don't ever be late for my course again. And I was like, did I actually just say that out loud?
was that like a side voice?
Yeah, it was. But it was like I was teaching. I was like, 2 girls at the back, get your seat up. And I was like, oh my God, did I actually just say that out loud? And I was like, I stopped and I said, sorry, 2 girls at the back, can you come to the front, please? Because you're so disengaged and I want to ask you why. And they were, by day 2, they were brilliant. They were so good, but I had to bring them to the front of the room, and I had to split them up and I had to work it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of them, they were only young, and I was like, your boss has sent you on this. You don't want to be here. You don't know what you're coming on. You have no idea why you're here. And you're doing my head in. Like, you're so rude. But actually, once I broke it down and engaged them and we changed things around, they were great.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I said it out loud. Can you imagine? Just pull this angle out, 2 girls at the back of the, get your feet off my fucking seat. I was like, did I actually just say that out loud? I was like,
Tourette's of you, Sally.
I know, I was like, oh my God, yeah. But, you know, they didn't know why they were there.
No, and I think
they've just been told to go.
Yeah, you've been sent on something, you know, not engaged.
Whereas what we tend to do with the team a lot is we actually try and work out what it is that they actually want individually, because every single person wants something different. Some people want to enter awards. Some people... Some people want to enter awards is their priority, or they want to do more industry work. Some people actually want to move into a better flat.
Yeah.
They want to have a 1-bedroom flat and a 2-bedroom flat, or people want to get married and be able to have children, or there's every single thing is different to every single person. And it's working out as a boss what it is that motivates that person.
Yeah. Because
it's not the same thing that motivates everybody.
Yeah.
And everything's possible. It's just, what do you want? What do you want to achieve? And that's, you know, when we think we have a good balance of team working for us.
I think that's crucial. And it's the fact is firstly, knowing your team.
Yeah.
You can't find out what motivates someone until
if you don't know them. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's a crucial thing. It's hard in a big enterprise. The bigger it is, the harder it is.
But that's when your positions are really important, I think. Like your you know, what is an art director?
Yeah.
What is a salon manager? What is an assistant manager? What is everybody's roles? Is how a good company works for me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I never forget when I took the job of artistic director at Trevor's. You know, I think Trevor always thought that he taught me hair. I think he taught me how to think more than he taught me hair. You know, there's other teachers at Trevor's that taught me hair because they were my trainers and they were the people I was around all the time. But Trevor taught me a lot more than he thinks about from blunt sentences he used to say to me. And he does say some blunt corker sentences. And you don't take it negatively, but a good example is when I first became art director, I went home and I spent about a week writing a list of everything I was going to do to make this position amazing and what I was going to do with the team. And it was a list, and it was all of these things that I was going to change to be the best art director possible. It took me ages to work on this. Came in the office, Trevor, I said, I've done this thing, can we talk about it? He picked the list up and he literally just went, he read one thing and he went, anyone can write a list. It's much harder to do things than write a list. And he walked out. And you know what? He's so right.
Yeah.
Anybody can say what they're going to do, but even if you achieve one of them on your list, you've been doing well.
Yeah.
But it is, isn't it? We can all write things that we're going to do. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to earn $1 million, and you can write all of them things down.
Yeah.
But actually, there's no point writing them down. Just choose one thing and do it well.
Yeah.
And then choose another one and do it well. And then choose another one and do it well. But like I said, it's like, what is your positions in the salon is what makes a salon successful. So a lot of people think, for example, and everyone has a different way of thinking as well, is an artistic director is somebody that directs the company artistically.
Yeah.
Or somebody that does all the big shows, or the star of the company. That's what a lot of people think. An art director is the star of the company. They do all the big shows, they get all the budgets, they do this. That's not how I think. I think an art director's responsibility is to pass down the knowledge to the people below them so that the company brand stays within the company brand artistically.
Yeah.
So it's how you see different roles. But if that's coming down through a big corporation in the right way, then the person at the bottom should be motivated from the person above them, and that person should be motivated from the person above them, and then that person, and that's your pecking order. And you should always want to be that person.
Yeah.
So if you're an apprentice and you want to buy your own house, you should be really shadowing the person that's got the biggest clientele in the salon. Why have they got the biggest clientele in the salon?
Yeah.
All you have to do is watch them. There's a reason why. That's what you're learning. Do you know what I mean? If you want to be an artistic director, shadow the artistic director. Why are they the artistic director? What is coming out of their mouth? What are they doing? It's like, that's how you grow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You listen.
And that's the thing. It's like, follow who you want to aspire to be.
Yes.
You know, like, there's a thing where in a salon environment that there's, as you say, it breaks down into sort of little elements, and it can be, you know, people are in the low paid area, which is the staff room, or the, you know, it's who do you want to follow?
Yeah. And
sometimes it's not the popular choice. So it's being strong enough at a very young age to break out against the popular choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's and it depends on the environment, but it's breaking away from the sometimes the person who's striving forward isn't the most popular.
No.
Which is just hierarchy. It's just herd mentality sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you want
to break away from it is quite hard. But it's like choose who you aspire to and work out why they're successful. Do you mean? It's like, just work it out and then find your own way of doing it. But it's like it's the same, isn't it? If somebody says, I want to be really good at long hair, well, be really good at long hair then. Yeah. But don't be really good at only one part of it. Like, be Patrick Cameron, be really good at long hair. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like work out what it is you want to be good at and be really good at it. And then there's opportunities and the doors open.
And that's the thing. That's there again, the combination, finding your passion and then grafting. Yeah. It's that thing of 1,000 hours. You're not going to get really good at something unless you put the graft in. Yeah. You know? And it's over and above. You have to live this stuff, you know. Yeah, but we do. It's like it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. That's what we all say, isn't it? It is a lifestyle. Yeah. It's why we all love talking to each other like this, because it's actually like talking to your mate. It's a lifestyle. We're all on the same page and we're all on the same wavelength. It's lovely. I think, I mean, I and we're all in our, as you say, bubbles is a thing. Yeah. But we've always been in bubbles. Yeah. We've always been in our little world or our little goldfish bowl. And when I first set out to do haircuts for homeless, my focus was on helping homeless people. But the thing what I didn't really expect was how great it was going to be to meet hairdressers as the charity grew all around the UK and Ireland. I was getting to meet fantastic hairdressers and realising that different areas had, you know, there was a common theme amongst hairdressers in the industry, but there was also things that were just particular to an area, you know, like our Dublin group are very different to our Birmingham group and our Essex group and a Scottish group, you know. Yeah. But there's that fundamental thing that we've all got running through us. True, yeah. Of the joy. It's quite unique, isn't it? Yeah, and as well, you can throw some people together in an event that we do. Like, they're not events; they're ongoing programs that we set up. But you know, like, everyone gels immediately. Yeah. You've got a common thread, a common. As also, someone might struggle a little bit, and you see someone stepping in, and that's when I really love it. When you see someone like supporting. No one has to be told to do that stuff. Yeah, you know. And it's been amazing, you know, for me over the last, I think it was 7 years this year, I've met so many amazing people, and salon owners, trainees, and people who run a chain, and, you know. And has it made you see the industry and maybe people that you, like hairdressers that you saw before and you thought they were a certain person, and then
they're not. Has it made you see the industry different and see people differently doing it?
I've always got to be blatantly honest about things. I have to be, and what it's done, Sally, it's made me fall back in love with the industry.
Yeah.
Because
why did you fall out of love with it, if you don't mind me asking?
That's what I've got to say, because I don't like to say it, because we're all about encouraging people to go into the industry, but you've got to be realistic. And I've been in it a long time, you know. I've been in it, I've done this 7 years, I'm 42, so I've been in it for about 35 years. And then I'd had a series of events of, you know, things that's tough on the high street. It became very tough to run a salon on the high street. And then the thing is that it became more about running a business than doing the job I loved. So it was all about, as I said earlier, it can be, you know, paying the rent, paying the VAT, paying the tax, motivating staff.
Quite lonely, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, well, I was very lucky because I've always had my sister with me.
I've always had Jamie, yeah. Yeah,
always had my sister there behind me 100% of the way. But even then, probably didn't help always, because sometimes you become too enabling of each other, you know, like because you've been through it and seen it before. And sometimes it's at that thing of being tired of saying the same things for a long, long time. Tired of saying, you know, if you're going to walk from there to there, can you just take the cups with you? Can you just not? I'm
sure we can all relate to this.
Yeah, and it's tiring. It's tiring to keep that, you know. And then if you throw a few other things in the mix, you get punch drunk, I think, of running a business and things not going well. And clients loving some of them, but some being so hard to love, so hard, draining, you know, some of that. And then that day when I first went and cut someone's hair in that homeless centre, who there was no agenda, there was no money, and the gratitude that I got took me back to being 16, took me back to what I went into hairdressing for, took me back to the passion, and really passion for it. And to be honest, it helped them with my salon work.
100%. Yeah.
It's infectious, because then I love doing that more, but also I love being in the salon more, and I love being with the clients more. And so it's a funny thing that I now know that after 42 years or something of hairdressing, I still love hairdressing now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I'm lucky, because not people can love their job after all them years, all them decades of seeing the changes and still loving what I do, and love other hairdressers. And I love this platform. I love talking to hairdressers. You know, I've had people like Sam McKnight on, you know, Neil Moody, Adam Reed, but it's infectious talking to people who also love what they do.
That is everyone always says to me, where do you get inspired by? And I'm like, talking to people that love what they do is 100%. I could just talk for ages. Yeah. And it's not just people who like in hairdressing, actually. It's just anyone that is really passionate about what they do is infectious to be around.
Yeah.
But anyone that is really negative about what they do, I just want to punch. I just don't want to be around them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I just don't. It's like, that's why it's probably one of the sayings everyone says is, if you have any problems, leave them at the salon door and don't bring them in, because there is nothing worse than a wet, mopey person in your salon. I'm like, just get out, because the energy affects everybody. Whereas when you talk to people like that really love what they do, the energy level is like, ooh.
Yeah.
You talk to people like this, I'm like, just get away from me. I just don't like being around negative people. I really like being around positive people.
It's like they're dementors, you know, like
that's what I said.
They suck the life out of it, and it's that feeling, you know, and it's difficult.
That's like when you said that when you've had a client that does your head in as well, isn't it? That's the same feeling. I feel like I've been blood sucked That's why I go to the staff room something. I say, sorry, I'm a stone thinner because my clients just sucked every part of whatever out of me. I just shake it off. You know what I mean?
I've had instances where over the years where I've tried to help someone, to help them have a better day. But then I've had instances where I've realised that this person is no good for me, no good for them. It's no good coming in, and I've sacked them off. And I'm really encouraging of people. Not willy nilly, and not. It's got to be a two-way. It's got to be a two-way exchange. Yeah. So,
otherwise, it doesn't work. The whole environment and atmosphere is just not pleasant for everybody. It's like that's a tough one because I don't know. Just our job, you've actually always got to be positive. Even if it's a negative, you've got to be positive. Yeah. And if something goes wrong, be positive. Like it's that actually helps. I think it helps people do what we do.
Yeah. You've got to be a people person.
Yeah.
If you're not a people person, this ain't the game for you.
No. And you've got to be a listener. You've really got to be a listener. I'm laughing as well because I'm like, one of the things everyone says is like, what's the best thing about owning a salon? And I'm like, best thing about owning a salon is I can ban some clients from coming to me. Sometimes I'm just like, no, this isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. Your name in my 12 clients is making me have a bad day. So I'd rather you just went to a different salon. It's just don't come in. When you work for someone, you can't really ban clients, but when it's your own salon, you're just like, just no.
I've had that in, people don't know what they're doing sometimes. I mean, bless them, they're just unaware of how they affect other people.
Yeah.
And there was a woman used to come in, and it was almost like, in the dinosaur film, when the dinosaurs come in and the water goes in, you see the water come in. It was almost like you could see it coming across the shops, the town centre, and it was almost feeling like the ground was moving, physically, but spiritually. And one day I thought, this day she tore into my stylist, and I said, "Look," she went to book. I went, "Sorry, I don't want you to rebook." You know, and then they're so offended. They're so shocked.
So shocked. It's quite funny, isn't it? So I've got somebody that I do in the salon, and he's always rude to my receptionist. My reception team are incredible. Like Roy basically runs my salon. Yeah. He is incredible. Always rude, always blunt. Been doing the hair for years. And one day he was just rude to my reception. I came round and I was running 1 minute late. I never run late, by the way. I'm really, really disciplined. I don't run late. He went, "I don't pay you to keep me waiting." I was running 1 minute late. "I don't pay you to keep me waiting." I said, "Let's just make this really simple. Either you apologise or I don't cut it. I'll give you 5 minutes while I clean my station to work it out, but if you don't apologise, I don't cut it." I loved watching him apologise. Yeah. And do it. I did. I was like, "You just need to apologise. It's like you're just rude." Do you know what I mean? And then from then on, the last 5 or 10 years, we've actually had a lovely relationship. But I was like, just know. I'm not a robot. I use that sentence so many times. I'm not a robot. My team are not robots. We're human beings. Yes. And there's things that make us run late, and there's things that are out of our control, and there's situations that happen, and there's clients that tell you things that you've got to spend more time with. We're not robots. If you want to see a robot, go to a different salon. But in here, all my team are good. Speak to them with respect. Do you know what I mean? Or go to a different salon. There's loads of salons. Just don't come to mine. I'm like, just don't come to mine.
Well, the thing is, and I love this. I really, really love this stuff, because I think that on the whole that we're not strong enough. The industry isn't strong enough in its self-belief. Yeah. They've heard so much of we're just hairdressers and all that stuff, but sometimes we're guilty of that ourselves. Yeah. That we don't take ourselves seriously, that we will. And the thing is, the dentist, we're scared of the dentist. We don't.
We're scared to be late.
We're scared to be late. We won't be late, and all of that stuff. But then we accept it. Yeah. I see these loads of forums on Facebook, lots of the hairdressing forums and that I see, and it's that does everyone take deposits? Should I take a deposit? Should I do this? Should I do that? Yes. Yes, you should take a deposit for a big colour job. Yes, you should enforce it if there's no reasonable, because if you don't take yourself seriously, no one else is going to.
Yeah.
And why is your time any less valuable than a dentist?
Yeah.
I disagree with all of that stuff. But we have to take action ourselves. We have to take ourselves more seriously for others to do that. Yeah,
but I think the whole industry needs to do that. It can't be half the industry. That's the thing. It has to be the whole industry. Maybe we should come up with another sentence how we speak about ourselves, because we all do go, I'm just a hairdresser. I do it. What do you do? I'm just a hairdresser. Like, it's just how we speak. It's like, I don't mean I'm just a hairdresser. It's just what we say. Yeah. Maybe we need to find a new sentence.
I'm the world's worst. I moan when people don't take me seriously, and I don't take myself seriously at all. So how can I moan?
Yeah.
I answer the phone. So it's only me.
Yeah.
Saying it's only me.
That's really funny.
No one takes me seriously, and I'm laughing.
Yeah.
And but there has to be a point where you come from. I think it's about value. So it doesn't have to be serious, but it's about value, and it's valuing yourself and valuing your time. How much is your time worth? We've only got so many hours, so many years on the planet. We've only got so many hours in them years. How much is that hour worth? Is it only worth a tenner? No. But you've got to believe it. There's no putting a value on something and not really believing it.
Yeah.
It's not about who can charge the most, but it's who can charge the right amount that you're happy with and that client thinks you're worth.
Yes, that is the balance, and that's that. But you just made it sound really simple. It's not that simple, but yes, it is that. But that's how you kind of work with your team. That's why there's different levels, isn't there? It's like an experience, and for me, experience is the biggest thing, and that doesn't mean you're a better hairdresser. It's an experience thing. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes if I have a new client in the salon, I'm like, I'll do it this time, but after that, I think you should see Darcy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's because you're going to then see Darcy every 6 weeks, whereas you're going to save up to see me every 6 months. And they're more than capable of doing it. But would whoever it is, I'm not saying Darcy particularly, but would a younger stylist have made the decision to change your hair in the way that I have? That's what you're paying for, is experience. But can they cut it as well as I cut moving forward? 100%.
Yeah.
Do you mean 100%? And most of what we do is experience and confidence to be able to charge money. That's the biggest thing for me. But it doesn't mean that they can't do it as well as me.
No, and that's the point of a multi-layered price list.
100%.
And use it for what it's not just like labels on things.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason.
It's there for a reason, yes.
I used to do the same. I used to sometimes say, look, why don't come and have me? So my clients used to say, look, you're my Marks and Spencers.
Yeah.
So once a year she'd come and see me, and then the year she'd have someone on the lower price to maintain. But I was a little every now because
same as me. I've got lots of clients like that, and I actually love that because I feel like that's what makes me have a really successful salon. Is that my clients will see other people without thinking that I'm offended. That's a really healthy thing for me to have. Really healthy thing for me to have.
I 100% agree, and I think that's the whole ethos of having a team of people.
Yes, and a team of different personalities. It's why we try and employ a mix of different people. I mean, we laugh with that when we have parties and things, because we go, if you put my team in any other situation, they would never have been friends at school. They would never go out and do, they're just the most mixed group of people. But for some reason, that works.
Yeah.
Because they're all so different. They all have different strengths. They all have different likes. They all have different activities that they like doing. They all bring something different to the table. But if you put a group of the same people together, that's a car crash.
Yeah,
it's a car crash because they're all fighting over the same things and they all have the same conversation. Whereas our staff room is so diverse of what people have been doing at the weekends, and that's what makes it work. It's the mix of people that just want to be good at what they do.
I'm not a massive football fan, but I think a lot of it, I think football relates so well to running a team.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't have a team of defenders. And you forward, you don't have you wouldn't have a team of goalies.
Yeah, no. It wouldn't work.
No, you need that. You need that sort of broad spectrum of people that will bring something else to the team.
Because also then you've got a broad spectrum of team because you have a broad spectrum of clients.
Yeah.
So, hairdressing is easy. As long as you can get that client to see the right person, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the salon, I remember a situation where I had 2 new clients booked in with 2 of the team that were working behind me, and I watched them both do the consultation, and I just said to my client, just excuse me one moment. I just turned around and went, guys, swap clients. I was like, you've just got the wrong clients, because this one wants this amazing wedding trial hair up. Russell can't put hair up to save his life. This one wants a complete whatever, which is Russell's sort of clients. Do you know what I mean? I was like, just swap clients. And they were both like, thank God you said that. And I was like, don't ever be afraid to say, you're not with the wrong person. You're with the wrong person. This person is better for you, because that will build the trust of the client. You're just with the wrong people. But we have like a whole, we call it a menu. There was once I was going to write the price. I was going to write the website and call everybody buy a bottle of wine. So one of my staff is more robust, and I was like, full-bodied Chardonnay. And I was like, maybe this isn't a good idea. But I was trying to get it so that, the client can actually choose the person that they want, like a menu, because that's when they know that the fit is right. But I was like, full-bodied Chardonnay didn't go down very well. Hilarious. Everyone was like, maybe not, Sally. But it is, it's a menu. It's
I
a menu.
met a night out once when I was young, full-bodied Chardonnay.
Full-bodied Chardonnay. I was having such a giggle doing it, and I was like, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe it's a little bit borderline, But it'd be easier, wouldn't it? This is what they like. This is the client. Put them together. Then you've got a successful salon.
That's it. The menu type of thing is crucial, somehow put that in. That people have choice. You're visiting the salon, you're visiting the team. Yeah. Your choice, and like we used to sometimes, someone would do the colour, someone did the cut, and it's just that. Yeah. It's making the most of everything. But at the end of the day, everyone wins because they're all coming to the salon. Yes. Yes. That's the thing with it. Where do you? So, I think time goes so fast when I talk to you. But so before we finish, we're coming out now. We're coming out of this. What do you see now for the rest of the year?
I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I do. I think we're walking back into a 4-week honeymoon period, Christmas period, and then we're walking out to, I don't know, nobody really knows, but I'm going to say the wheels will fall off like they did last time. Yeah. What we've all learned from the first time around, though, is that we all have the ability to rebuild this. Yes. And I see this as a really good opportunity to put changes in place that we would have maybe wanted to do before and not been brave enough to do. That's across the whole industry, actually, by the way. I feel like this. I really, really hope that we don't come back the same as we were before. We've definitely put new things into the salon and new ways of working that we will continue to do. And we will continue to make changes that we weren't doing before. And I really hope that the industry comes back with some fresh ideas and doesn't go back to the same award platforms and the same ways of doing things, and that we actually find a different way of doing it. And I think that's quite exciting. And I think as long as people see this as opportunity and exciting, together we can all get through this. If we all try and fight each other and discount and offer, we are not going to get through this together. Do you know what I mean? If we all are brave enough to pick up the phone and ask for help, we will get through this together. And if we are brave enough to, like I say, to make some changes that maybe the industry needed, we will be fine. But I think it's going to be an interesting year. I think it's going to be a year of mentally staying strong.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a year of rebuilding what we had into something different. And I think that's, if we look at it the right way, quite exciting.
I couldn't agree more. I'm really pleased you said that. I think it's wise words, and it's about hope, but it's about embracing change, because you cannot go through something cataclysmic like this and not expect there to be some change.
Yeah, and I think on a lot of ways we needed change, and we needed a little bit of a kick up the arse, and it's made us evaluate our salons differently, and what the priority is. And for me, the priority 100% is looking after my clients. I've refused any jobs in the first 4 weeks of opening, because my priority is my team, it's my clients, it's resetting, making sure my team are all they're looked after. If they need anything from me. So, I have been asked to do quite a few external things from the salon in the first 4 weeks. And it's like I said, my 4 weeks priority is my salon, and it is my team. And I won't be taking anything on for them 4 weeks. And then after that, there will be time to then educate your team more and be with your team, because we're going to have a flat point. But a flat point, we might all need it.
Yeah.
We don't need it for long, but we're going to be exhausted after 4 weeks. So, we need to make sure that our team are healthy and that they're capable of looking after the clients, and then we're going to have a downtime that we're going to be able to have time to reassess what we're doing for the rest of the year, and then to get to the end of the year is going to be incredible. But it's not doing things that are going to cost a lot of money, not doing things that are going to make people think you're doing better than you are. It's actually just focusing on what we actually need to do and coming out at the end.
Well, Sally, I'm so glad I managed to catch her before the 4 week starts. but
do you agree with that? It's like, you have, I have got a responsibility to my client. I have got a responsibility to my team.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, we're lucky that we've got 6 weeks to do anything else before that.
Yeah.
So we're now starting to bring our teams back together and making sure that they're educated and make sure they're all ready to go, and they've got the right outfits to wear to work, and everyone's going to get their hair done, and everyone's good to go. There's no excuse. We have 6 weeks, and then we've got 4 weeks of bums down, heads up, heads down, bums up.
That's the one.
Do you know what I mean? Putting some money in the till so that it can get us through the next bit, and then the next bit is utilising that time. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, it's crucial, and we've got to do the same thing for our charity. We've got to get people right. We've got to shore up the existing projects. Some we've lost. Get things steady, and then rebuild. I think I see that this year, reshoring and opening some ones that have been waiting, and then growing next year.
It is. It's getting things steady, stable, rebuilding, and then deciding what you want to do.
Build a good foundation again.
Yeah.
And then we can move.
And then do it.
But Sally, it's been wonderful to speak to you. I've loved the interruptions. I've really enjoyed myself. I know it's been good because it's flown by. It feels like 10 minutes. It's over now. So I really wish you the best. Can't wait to see you in person. I'm going to come and see you as soon as this is all finished.
It'd be lovely. That's the thing that we all want, isn't it, actually? We're also quite tactile, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't like this, hello. I'm not really into that. I'd rather give somebody a big hug. I'd rather just wait.
I'll give it 4 weeks when you...
Give me 4 weeks. Give me 4 weeks to get through my plate.
I'll come to the salon and have a coffee.
Yeah, that's what I miss, is actually going for coffee with people. More than anything, I miss going for coffee with people.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. We will. Sally Brooks, thank you very much.
Just over 5 years ago, I did something that changed my life. What it did, more than I could have ever realised, it helped me. I have met some absolutely amazing people, some of the people that work in some of these places. Many of them are volunteers, but some of them, it is their job. This is more than a job, this is a calling.